Hello, my name is Stefan Richard and I'm from the Sagkeeng First Nation. So I am the host of the DD podcast. I interview the best and brightest musicians in Indigenous music. I'm also the host of the Ever Sick podcast. I'm a dad. I have a pocket-sized version of me. He's about this big. Also, I'm a former pro wrestler. Gear tour. The gear part. I've been waiting for this. So, pro wrestling wise, let's start with the footwear, shall we? Knee-high leather black boots, purple knee pads, trace knee pads. Don't buy any other junk. Then move up top. Move to the upper body. Wear wrist tape. Always got to support the wrists so you don't hurt yourself. Prevent yourself from injuries. And you wear a spandex singlet top to accentuate whatever good that's on the upper body. Finally, the piece, the resistance, the one that makes the women crazy. Everywhere I go, the little tiny purple spandex panties. Mind you, this was 100 pounds ago, but god damn it, did I look good. So for the Ever Sick podcast and the Digital Drum podcast, I use a Zoom H5 recorder. It's a high-tech piece of machinery. I use two microphones. Don't ask me what they are, because I don't know. One's got a red top, one's got a blue top. The red top is mine. If you ever use the red top. Now, if I'm interviewing somebody, I need a guest. Now, whoever that is, I don't really care. But that's an important part to the podcasting process. I get to talk about myself all I want. Nobody's gonna listen. I gotta have somebody who brings in the people, sells tickets, puts asses every 18 inches. All right, part 3 of the gear tour comes with being a successful dad. Part 1, when you have a 7-year-old, you need napkins at all times. My son's a professional spiller. I could put a glass of water on the other side of the city. He'll knock it over. 2, you need snacks, all times, snacks. Granola bars, peanuts, bananas, excessive amounts of candy, all of it. 3, you need clothes, change of clothes at all times, because sometimes kids' plumbing doesn't work too well. More importantly, on top of everything else, you need video games, something to distract the child while you're attending to your personal adult affairs. I don't have any adult affairs, but if I did, let me tell you. During First Listen Fridays on the DD podcast, I had the chance to interview JB, the First Lady. However, when I came here, JB wasn't here. So what did I do? I started walking to my car. I got to my car. I was paying for parking, and I was leaving the parkade when I got a phone call. Hey, JB's here. So I went and parked. I walked back up, and I had a clamshell of an interview with JB. It was great. It was an hour and a half late, but it was a good time. So here it is. Clip with me and JB, the First Lady.
Hi, JB. Beans and rice. Hello and welcome to the Digital Drum Podcast. Mi nombre es Stefan Richard, which of course is the Spanish translation for my name is Stefan Richard. Thank you for downloading this week. This is your First Listen Friday. And this week, we are talking to JB, the First Lady from Vancouver. She was fresh off of the Yellowknife stage from Aboriginal Day Live. I had the chance to sit down with her, talk about her life and her career, and being born on the prairies and growing up all across Canada, even into New York. We talk about how that experience shaped her music and her life, and she even snuck us a song for your First Listen Friday. It is called Out of the Gate, and it is out of this world. Without any further ado, my conversation with JB, the First Lady. Enjoy. JB, the First Lady, is in the Digital Drum Studios right now.
What is up?
What is up, J Bizzle, J Boogie?
I'm just having the time of my life.
Your first crowd that you lit up was in Moose Jaw, am I right? Were you born in Moose Jaw?
I was born in Moose Jaw.
See, I did my research for this thing.
What? Oh, wow, yeah. Like, we lived in Ontario, Kitchener-Waterloo, St. Catharines. We lived in Rochester, New York for a bit, Regina, Prince George, Vancouver Island, East Van, Vancouver is where we ended up. And throughout that whole process, I didn't really know who I was. Like, I didn't have an identity as being First Nations because there isn't a lot of people that were in those cities, and we were always the only ones.
Well, I feel pretty exposed at this point. You've seen me as a podcaster, as a dad, as a pro wrestler. You've seen me 3/4 naked in all these pictures. So thanks for coming by. Hey, if you want to follow me on social media, at Ever Sick Stefan, Stefan, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the Snapchat machine. Have I exposed myself enough?
You've been exposed.
Digital Drum! Digital Exposed! Yourself!